this portfolio. The first item on the agenda is monitoring of exec cabinet member decisions. Any questions, any queries in relation to the...
Could I ask a question, Actor?
Yeah, go on, David.
I am being cheeky, and I'll beg your leeway on this. Obviously, last meeting we did talk about a site in Farnworth, which was on green papers, and I will not talk about it, but a particular company. And what did concern me when I was reading the Bolton news today was about 4 sites in Bolton and a company which his name has been around for some time. I'm just wondering where the reporting mechanisms is about these 4 sites and the change of this company, because it does have implications for Bolton Town Centre. Although I'm 100%, well, 110% West Dorton, you know, there is an impact with Bolton. I don't wish it any harm. I hope it does well. But it'd be nice to know where we are, maybe at some other stage, or maybe a report or some information about what's happening to these 4 sites and why this company has been, as they say, adios amigo. It would be very useful to be informed about it and not read about it in the Bolton news. Thanks very much.
Paul,
yeah,
is this something that...
happy to sort of talk about it a little bit. There was authority in place through you, Chair, to look at taking forward the disposal of the sites through the Pagabo agreement. The council has been trying to work with that company to consider how we could deliver the disposal of those 4 sites through the Pagabo agreement. We've faced, challenges on that. We haven't been able to do that, and the Helen and her team and working with us we've explored that option, and it's not been possible to do that. And we're required to undertake regulated procurement, and we haven't been able to find a way to bring the site forward in a different way. And therefore, as the press has indicated, then that's why the decision was made jointly to part company.
Okay, thank you. No, any other questions, queries? No, thank you. I do not see any other hands, so I'll move to the next item on the agenda, which is the Director of Corporate Resources Finance Report, quarter 3. Janet, are you taking us through this?
I am, Chair, thank you.
Yeah.
So this is the quarter 3 finance report for the whole of the Corporate Resources Directorate.
Yeah.
The projected outturn position at quarter 3 was £52,000 overspent. For this portfolio, it is £40,000, and I'm just to note that the report itself is under the old portfolios. We will make those changes for quarter 4, but this report was already in train, so that relates to the property element of corporate resources. So the key financial findings can be found on page 2, and service specific findings can be found on appendix A. The executive cabinet member is recommended to note the contents of the report and to note the revisions within the capital programme which fall under this portfolio. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions?
David? Yeah, probably in a way roundabout about finance. I have asked a number of questions over the last year or so, maybe even a bit longer, about where we go with SAMP, etc. And I will say it again. I know it's now in your area of responsibility, Actor. I do have concerns about where we're going with SAMP. I have concerns about the speed of SAMP, the processes, how we get from A, and it takes a long, long while to get to B, never mind to the end of the alphabet. So I'm hoping that there is a review of where we're going with SAMP and all the issues, side issues with SAMP. So we know where we are clearly about all those related matters. And then things are coming through the SAMP process or the associated add-ons, that we have some confidence about it, because I'll be quite open about it. I'm not confident about the processes. I refer to the West Orton one. It's just taken far too long, where we have organisations, etc. Lessons have got to be learned, how we can do things quicker, better, not just for us as an authority, members' involvement, etc., and use of officer time, but also for organisations which are at the end of that food chain who want to take properties or land, etc., and they can be used for community use. So I just put that word of caution, shall I say? Like I say, I think you're aware of it. I've been saying it for some time, and hopefully things can be sorted.
Yeah, just before I bring Lee in, I understand your frustration and your concerns, David. But I remember when the SAMP process was actually developed, it sets out process to go through in terms of disposal of council land or property. My understanding is that process was agreed for a period of time, and it will be subject to a review at some point. Lee, could you help us in relation to that, when that sort of review will take place of the current processes?
Yeah, thank you, Chair, and thank you, Councillor Wilkinson, and obviously we manage the corporate property service. I think I share some frustrations with you as well in terms of how long some of these take. There's a few things. The current SAMP process that we're working to at the minute ends at the back end of this year, 2025. So there is going to be a rework of the SAMP moving forward, and we've always made a commitment that we'll work cross-party in terms of that moving forward. There is a slight delay from what we would do, because as I'm sure you know, we're just on the process of insourcing a huge amount of our corporate property function from Robertson's back into the council. It's a really, really complicated piece of work, very time consuming, but once we've done that, we will have a really strong team in place to be able to make this better. I take on board, and I know there's obviously a few councillors on the call today I've spoke to over the years about some frustrations. We know that we need to just refine the process moving forward, but absolutely, it'll be cross-party. Everyone will be involved when we develop the new SAMP. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Lee. Thank you. Any other questions, queries before I approve the report? No, I do not see any hands, so I approve the report. Thank you. We'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the Directorate of Place Finance Report, Q3. Janet, again.
Thank you very much, Chair. So this is the Q3 finance report for the whole of the Directorate of Place. The projected outturn position at Q3 is £549,000, and that's after planned movements of reserves. So for this portfolio, again, it's under the old portfolios. So for regeneration, it was £231,000. The key financial findings can be found on page 3, and the service specific findings can be found on Appendix 1. Executive Cabinet member is recommended to note the contents of the report and to approve the revisions in the capital programme that fall underneath this portfolio. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions, queries, colleagues? Yeah. I can't see any hands, so that brings us to the end of the meeting. And before I end the meeting, I approve the report.
Thank you.
Thank you. And have a nice evening.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you,
Thank you.
members.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye. Bye.
Uh,
Yes, I am.